All right. Hey there. It's Gabriel. I just want to shoot a quick update because I've been trying to crunch the numbers and or the timelines, you might say. And how do you say this? I think this is definitely a point of time where my faith really has yet to be tested. I don't think this is really a test of faith. This is more like, this is a chance to provide insight, I think, that's been provided to me, or else to kind of give people an opportunity to question my credibility if I'm wrong. I think both are equally important. Because, let's say I have all these things I'm saying, all these prophecies, and I'm off. I should be held accountable for that. I don't think that's the fault of anyone except myself for making those mistakes. I mean, it's not like they hand me a blueprint, but I'm just going to lay it out, and then you can think for yourself. So, I was just thinking about how I'm a Virgo, and my dad is a triple Pisces, and my mom is a Aquarius, and my last girlfriend was also an Aquarius, and there's a lot of Aquariuses in my family, and if you have a lot of friends who are Aquariuses or know them, anyway, sorry, there's the Aquarius personality is very interesting, very unique. So, in an effort to be, or not an effort to be, just because I'm a Virgo, I think, I end up really overanalyzing things like dreams. So basically, all of the prophecies I've given so far have been based on dreams, and they have all been related to this group of people who I'm hanging out with now at UMass, many of whom hypothetically are going to be graduating and getting jobs and moving away. In my dreams, that's not what happens. So based on that, there's reason for me to think that certain events are going to happen, or basically there has to be a trigger, is what I'm trying to get at. So there's going to be a trigger, and that trigger has to be very noticeable, because it doesn't just involve those people, it also involves kind of the major patriarchs at UMass. And then so that's based on a dream where multiple seniors or people who are going to be graduating and a major patriarch were having a conversation with me that there's no way I initiated that conversation. And I can tell you that it happens most likely in the next 2 months because of a proof that I'm supposed to give them, which I can't say right now, as evidence that I have seen that conversation taking place in my dreams. So that they have some way of, testing my credibility, I guess, or something. I don't know. I don't really understand the point, but there's a point to me being able to say I knew this was going to happen. And for them to be able to I don't know. I think you get it. So, that has to happen in the next 2 months. But church is closed for the next at least month and a half. So it's very unlikely that would happen. Just to start with. But then on top of that, there's many other proofs of dreams I've had where I am interacting with other people who are asking me the kinds of questions that imply they have a great deal more faith in me than they currently do. Or at least an interest in speaking with me, engaging with me, getting more of my perspective in a manner that's contradictory to their current beliefs. And that has yet to, those conversations have yet to happen on someone else's, of someone else's initiative. So, I can't say all of them. I really can't say almost any of them. Obviously, I've talked about that Frisbee season is going to happen this year. For sure. Okay. So then you start running through the scenarios in your head of like, okay, I'm pretty confident that I'm on a timeline where there's a major shift that happens very soon, and then you start trying to play out the scenarios in your head and think, okay, how could that happen? And as people know, the majority of my time has been spent doing research, writing reports, suing people, and then playing viola and hanging out with my family. Learning the Bible too and hanging out with people, but that's not... Anyway. I don't think any of them have any chance of happening fast enough, except one. There's really one possible timeline that is capable of producing this kind of tectonic shift. So, I'm going to lay it out for you, because I haven't said anything about it yet. So, on March 27th, I filed a motion to get substitute service and a restraining order. That motion was denied on March 31st. I appealed to the First Circuit of Appeals on Friday, which was April 3rd. Also submitted... Anyway, there's something else on Twitter you can find on the 2nd. So, let's say my appeal is denied as well. If I appeal to the Supreme Court and they take the case and they grant me a restraining order against the governor for failing to meet the constitutional or judicial standards for constraining or limiting First Amendment rights, the entire country will no longer be able to quarantine anybody until they've provided evidence of like 4 or 5 different things that the courts demand. I could lay them out for you. All right, I'll just say them. So it has to be a clear and present danger. Your measures have to be limited to the bare minimum. Your measures have to be effective. There has to be no other cases where less effective measures have yielded similar or better results. And then the 5th one is just, it has to be a legitimate state interest, which the public health is, I think. I think that's it. Anyway, I laid this all out in a lawsuit that you can find on March 27th on my Twitter. So, that's the only timeline that I can see. If I don't get the appeal, I have to appeal for a waiver of service. From the day of the waiver service application, the Governor's Council can take 60 days to reply. Then they can take another month to file a 12b6. Then there's 2 months usually before a hearing. So the timing kind of, I don't know. The timing is unlikely to effectively keep the people at UMass who, it's not really going to work out, basically. The people who have been in my dreams, all of them have been seniors or graduating people. And there's a reason for that. It's because I'm supposed to be able to have certainty right now that this is like the moment. My credibility and the credibility of my dreams specifically, which have been very carefully managed, manicured, directed. They've been noticeably more intense recently, noticeably more frequent. All of that certainly is valuable. I appreciate it, even if all of this is, even if I'm wrong about this timeline progression, but basically there is no way for this to work if I don't win this appeal. So, I want to let you know that. Whatever non-existent people watching this video who wonder if there's going to be Ultimate Frisbee season, or wonder if everything I've said about my dreams has any credit in its name or to it. This is the accreditation. And it's not the worst thing for me. It's in fact most likely a better scenario if I don't win the appeal. And if there's just a normal one lawsuit, maybe 2 lawsuits, maybe a contempt complaint, I don't have to be in court for 2 months, that would be fine. I'm not here complaining that I did not win the first appeal because the judge said I can't prove I've suffered any irreparable damage, because I guess my First Amendment rights are not valuable to the extent that losing them causes any irreparable damage. And it's true that I am not working and that I am not suffering right now. And I don't think someone needs to suffer in order for them to have First Amendment rights guaranteed by the Constitution. I don't think that's how it works. I think those rights are guaranteed, and the burden of proof is on the state in constraining them. Anyway, my first emergency motion was denied by Judge Gordon. I don't even know how the First Circuit Court of Appeals is going to work, but I can tell you for sure, if this First Circuit Court of Appeals denies my motion and I appeal to the Supreme Court and they deny that appeal, then that's it. That's the end of it. I mean, there's only one maybe other way, which is that some stuff goes crazy viral on the internet outside of the court system. And to my knowledge, the last time that happened, the website that I was using as a platform, they just took it down. So there's no reason for me to think that anything I do that goes viral, potentially, that could potentially go viral, would work. in terms of a local impact. And what I'm talking about is on March 13th when the Facebook servers were working and they weren't giving any data to anybody. And now, if you're not logged in, you can't see my Facebook page. But prior to March 13th, if you were not logged in, you could see my Facebook page, which is super weird. I mean, now you can't see anyone's Facebook page. They changed the whole site dynamics. And I mean, it's not the only website that's had weird changes since I started posting things from their website on the internet. Like DuckDuckGo and Google Images have both had some weird stuff. I don't even want to get into it, but. So those appeals will be wrapped up soon. And I'm definitely nervous about it. I mean, how could you not be nervous? Anyway, it's like, you know, one thing I think about is Brett Kavanaugh. I don't think Brett Kavanaugh deserved the treatment he got, but I do think there wasn't a discussion about his work, specifically in the Starr investigation, or the investigation of, I think it was the Starr investigation, STARR. The Clintons' lawyer was murdered. They found carpet fibers on his body. His body was also found with a gun in the wrong hand. He was right-handed. It was in the left hand. He had a gunshot wound to the head, which investigators concluded was not his doing. And one of the staff members at the park where he was found was testifying that it was not a suicide. And Brett Kavanaugh was part of the team that discredited that park worker. And then we have many other justices who were appointed by a communist. I mean, the first communist spy ring was discovered at Harvard Law School. And Barack Obama was a major, person at Harvard Law School. But then there's also, all this blackmail with Hammer, Operation Hammer, where justices are being blackmailed by the Obama administration. We just have this judicial system which gives me no faith. The only thing I have faith in right now are dreams that are, they're a proof, is what they are. In the past, the proofs have turned out to be true. When I was a sophomore, the biggest priority in my life was money and engineering. Engineering, money, and Frisbee. And I had a dream that I was playing viola, and in my dream, I was playing it for the Secret Service. And I knew that the Secret Service were listening to me in my dream, and I was joking about how bad I was at viola. So I thought it was impossible, because I wasn't going to ever learn to play viola, because I was going to become an engineer and not have time for that. And I already was playing music, so I was like... On March 14th, there was a Secret Service of last year, 2019. There was a Secret Service officer outside of my hotel room for the entire day. And obviously, if the Secret Service is posting someone outside your hotel room, they're listening to your phone. That's... Nobody even would, think otherwise. Spying is happening. There's an AEM capturing window on my laptop all the time. Like, everything I'm doing is being watched all the time, which is okay. I think if you're not a criminal, you have nothing to worry about. God's watching us all the time anyway. I mean, whatever. It's not... I'm not here to complain about being watched. I'm here to just say, like, the fact that that dream came true, and there have been a lot of them besides. This kind of makes me think, you know, that I'm gonna wait this one out. This is not a long proof they have. There's not a lot of time left for these dreams to happen, frankly. And if it does happen, it's definitely worth taking a minute right now and just resting. It's basically, I worked for about a month straight, a little longer. I didn't work yesterday, didn't work today. It's really nice. It's so nice to relax a little bit. Yeah, it's funny how, like, the stars impact us. Like, I have no idea in my astrology chart what's going on right now, but things are happening, and I'm sure the stars are being impacted by them. And I just wanted to put this video out there. You know? There is, I'll say this too. I think there's a high probability YouTube is constraining my view counts. I posted a video which had 0 views, which is my last video. And all it would take is one person who, after this all happens, to say, yeah, I watched that video. And that would be very clear that that video was... I mean, and Jordan Sather and Peter Schiff have both documented how views are being deleted from their channels. So, it's not unquestionable. It's not impossible. They're definitely burying my channel. Doesn't take much to search for Gabriel Schmidt and see that I'm at the bottom of the page. It's alright. I'd kind of prefer nobody sees this. Like, again, like, it's preferable that I get to be in the background. I get to hang out with my family. I get to do the simple things. I'm not doing them right now, though. They gave me this dream last night, which was implying that the preparations had been laid. They had been laid out in a place that was accessible. By the preparations, I mean it was a metaphor. It was an object. There were objects. They were laid out metaphorically in preparation for a large group of people to come, engage with them, utilize them. And then a black helicopter flew over the skylight of the building, very low, very loud, which sounds like it's going to be a little bit intense when it happens. So, in the midst of that, there have been some interesting communication issues in my family, which I'm trying to sort through. So I'm trying to just be clear about what is all of the evidence I have or we have. So, if this succeeds, it's going to be because Japan and Mexico have not had an outbreak. If this fails, it's going to be because I'm not able to prove I have suffered damages for losing my First Amendment rights, which would be a ridiculous precedent for the court to set. And crazier things have happened. I mean, Obamacare was ruled constitutional. That's... Or the McCulloch case. I mean, the McCulloch case overruled the 10th Amendment, which is like... I mean, now it's like obvious that we can't have the 10th Amendment. At the time, though, that was a huge ruling. Oh, man. The McCulloch case was a case where Illinois... It was a case in Illinois about housing, and the Supreme Court ruled if it is within the spirit of the Constitution, it is allowed under it. As in, there's nothing but the spirit of the Constitution to constrain the federal government. Which is like, what? So, there's a little bit of waiting happening right now for everybody. And yeah, that's it. So, this is probably going to go up on Tuesday. And yeah, can you tell I'm nervous? But if I can go to church, if everyone can go to church, that'd be nice. You know? Oh, there's a lot of stuff people aren't doing right now. But there's also very limited evidence that we shouldn't be doing it. And yeah, I'm just going to take a break for this week. I'll do a little bit of work, but this is probably do some workouts. Get ready for Frisbee season. So, shout out everybody. Either get ready for a change or get ready to stop watching these videos for all the people who aren't watching them. And yeah. Hope you have a good Tuesday. And yeah. See ya.